I get it. You're suffering. I've been there. The daily chronic pain, the crippling exhaustion, and don't forget insomnia. So you go to the doctor, hoping for a diagnosis, hoping for some help, some relief, so you can get back to living your life in a functional way. So they run all these tests and they come back normal. So they basically tell you there's nothing they can do for you and there's nothing wrong with you. It's basically all in your head. And you're like, no, this is not all in my head. I can't function. I'm in pain all the time. I'm exhausted. I can't deal with this and I need you to help me. So they give you a diagnosis of something like fibromyalgia or IBS, and they may offer you some kind of medication to help with the pain, but they really can't do anything for you to resolve the issue because there is no diagnosable issue for what you have. So you go home feeling completely defeated. And I'm telling you, if you stop there, you're not going to get any better. I remember a doctor telling me one time that, oh, just get rid of all the stress in your life and you'll be fine. And I'm like, how do I do that? And he's like, well, if I had the answer to that, I'd be a billionaire. Yeah, thanks, doc. So I went home and I was really ready to give up. Nobody believed me. They thought I was just being lazy. I'd get advice like, just do it. Just keep going. You'll push through it. You'll be fine. I wasn't fine. But I also wasn't ready to give up because I was young. I was about 30 years old and I said, this can't be the rest of my life. I can't live like this. I have children. I have a job. I have responsibilities that I have to take care of. I can't live the rest of my life like this. So I kept searching for solutions. So the first thing I started searching for was how to get rid of stress in your life. And I came across meditation and I started going to a meditation group. And in the beginning, it was awful because my mind was so crazy. I could not settle anything down. I was like, I'm doing this all wrong. So I kind of took a step back and I said, you know what? I'm going to go on YouTube and just do a 5-minute guided meditation. And through doing that, I was able to do longer and longer and longer meditations. You know, it took time. So if that is where you are, please don't stop. Keep going. It does get better. I wasn't able to do any of the exercises because I was exhausted all of the time. So meditation was the first thing that I found that started to make a difference. And through meditation, I was able to think clearer. And the pain actually started diminishing. So that made things a little bit easier. And then I thought, well, if this is actually working a little bit, what else can I do? And I thought about what that doctor had said to me about getting rid of the stress in my life. So I kind of took an inventory of what was going on in my life and what I could change and what I couldn't change. So, you know, we all have certain obligations that we have to deal with. Our children are our main priority. So we can't just get rid of our children, you know, but there are things in our lives that we can get rid of. And an important thing that I did was to set up boundaries with people. So I was the type of person that was like a doormat and I would let people take advantage of me and I could never say no, you know, because I always want to help people. So that was tough. But once I started setting up the boundaries, I did notice things starting to change. Now, at first, other people will not like it because they're used to taking advantage of you and stepping all over you. So they will not like it. And honestly, people will start to fall away from your life. But those aren't the right people for you. So even though it's kind of scary to think about losing people in your life, you know, it could be a family member or a spouse even, but you have to think about you and make yourself the number one priority, because if you don't, you're never going to heal. So as time went on, I made some real drastic changes in my life. I changed my career to one that made me completely unhappy to one that I loved. And that meant going back to school at middle age to do something completely different. And it was scary because I hadn't been in a classroom in over 20 years. But let me tell you, it was the best thing that I did for myself, because I started to build back my self-esteem and my self-worth. And through this process, I kept working on myself, doing forgiveness exercises to get rid of all that anger and resentment that I had built up over the years. Trauma releasing also was a huge factor. And I know there's so many different ways to do it, but you can find one that works for you. And that's what I always encourage people to do, because there's always a way. So as I continued on my healing journey and releasing all of this stuff that I had built up since I was a child, not only did I get rid of the fibromyalgia and IBS symptoms, I got rid of the psoriasis that I had ever since I was a kid. I also was able to practically eliminate my seasonal allergies. So I don't need medication anymore, and I haven't for years. Are there still things I'm working on? Absolutely. But I don't have any more chronic pain. I don't have the insomnia, maybe once in a while, but usually I don't. I don't overthink constantly anymore. And that overwhelming exhaustion is gone. My message here is that you can heal, but you have to be willing to make yourself the number one priority. You have to be willing to dig down deep and do what it takes. Take the risks. Embrace the fact that change can be a good thing. Because I used to think change, I was so afraid of it. And then I realized, you know what? If you don't change, you can't get better. So I just wanted to share this little testimony with you, and I hope it inspires you to take the steps necessary on your journey to healing. And if you need any help, please send me a private message, and I would love to set up a chat to see how I can help you. I hope you have an awesome day.